Hi, my name is Ashish, and in this video, we will see how to connect on-prem to Azure through VPN gateway and tunneling. So, in this video, we will create a Sophos XG virtual appliance which will emulate an on-prem device, and then I will connect it to the Azure VPN gateway to have the site-to-site connectivity. It will be an IPsec VPN tunnel between the Sophos XG virtual appliance that I will provision in Azure, but it will act like an on-prem virtual appliance. So let me just quickly log on to the portal and take it from there. So what I'm doing here is I am deploying a custom template which will deploy the resources like the VNet and everything else. So in the resource group, I'm going to create a new one that would act like my on-prem RG. Okay. And the location I would be selecting as a Southeast Asia. Uh, like this. And the base URL is this. I'm using the deployment template. And the VM name is my on-prem firewall. Admin password is and everything remains the same. So public IP name is this. Storage. Public IP DNS is my public IP. Storage is the my storage. And I'm going to click on I agree. And I'm going to click on purchase. Storage name. Okay. This one. This one. It's validating. Click here to view details. Okay. Again, I'm going to click on purchase. Okay. I'm sorry for that. I have to change again and again because the name has to be unique. You can skip this part if you want. Okay, after a few efforts, my deployment is in progress. I'm going to pause the video and come back as soon as it is done. Let me click on this. Till the time it is setting up this, let me create a virtual machine and a virtual network, and that I will create in a new resource group that I will use to connect to my emulated on-prem environment, this environment. So this, let's say I'm creating this as an on-prem environment, and in the next portal, I'm going to open up azure.com again, and I will create the new network and new resource group that I will connect to my on-prem environment that I am creating here, emulated on-prem environment. So I'm going to click on create a resource. I'm going to create a RG and virtual network and come back. I'm going to pause this because and if you would see, I am the address space that I am using for my this virtual network is 172.17.0-0/16, and the subnet I am going to select would be the 172.17/24 subnet 1. I'm going to click on add. Now I'm going to click on next. Next, I'm going to click on review create. So now till the time it is doing, I'm going to create a gateway subnet and a virtual network gateway. So now I will go to my resource group, this S2SRG, in which I have created this resource group, this virtual network. Here, I'm going to go to my resource group. And go to S2SRG. Okay. So this virtual network gateway and the gateway subnet will help me enable to create a connection between my on-prem and Azure virtual network. So I am onto my S2SRG resource group, and now I'm going to select my virtual network, which is S2SRG-VNet. It is still creating, if I remember. Okay, it is completed. I'm going to go here. So this is the virtual network, and I have a subnet inside it. Perfect. I go to my subnet and I click on this gateway subnet. When I click on gateway subnet, so please make a note that we need to create a gateway subnet for the gateway machines to reside in. All the routing is done by the Azure software defined networking. So we have to leave the default option on the add subnet bed and click on OK. So this will be the gateway subnet. Now I'm going to click on OK. So it is adding a gateway subnet. It has added the gateway subnet here as well. I'm going to click on home. I'm going to create a resource and I'm going to look for virtual network gateway. I'm going to click on create. Subscription is pay as you go. I'm creating a virtual network gateway here. So the name I'm going to type in would be my site-to-site gateway. So it would be site-to-site-GW. Region, I'm going to select East US. Okay, now the gateway type. Gateway type, I'm going to go with VPN circuit, and the VPN type would be route based. SKU size would be basic. Generation class would be 1. My virtual network. So the virtual network that I created, this subnet will be used my gateway subnet. And the public IP address, I'm going to create a new one. Its name would be site-to-site gateway-pip. Active mode disabled. I'm going to go with the default options here. I'm going to click on review and create. And I'm going to click on create. So please note that this may take up to 45 minutes to deploy, although I've seen that in most cases it is much quicker than 45 minutes. So you can monitor this process when you want to click on the bell icon and you want to click on deployment in progress, or you can see it here as well. So after this, when the virtual network gateway is done, then we will configure the Sophos virtual appliance because its deployment is going on here. Okay, so if you will see my resources in the on-prem firewall and the port A, port B, public IP, security group, virtual network are done. Perfect. So I'm on my on-prem RG here, and I'm going to select my public IP resource. So now I have to note down this public IP address on the notepad, 52.230.1.78. Now I'm going to open a browser session and navigate to this public IP address on port 4444. Let's see how that goes. I'm getting an error. I'm getting a certificate error. Go onto the web page. Okay. So this is the Sophos. This is how the Sophos would look if you will deploy using the ARM template. All right. So if you also get this error, bypass the. So remember the password is the one that we selected at the time of the creation of this resources. I'm going to click on I accept. In here, I'm going to select I don't have a serial number. I don't want to register now. And click on continue. Okay. Okay. Awesome. So now go back to the the Azure portal, and I'm going to go to my Azure portal. I'm going to go to my PIP, and this is the public IP address of my in this. Make a note of it. So this is the public IP we will connect our Sophos a virtual appliance to via IPsec VPN. So the connection that is coming from the virtual network gateway and from the Azure virtual network will connect to this public IP address, because for the virtual network gateway on the traffic coming from Azure VNet to connect, it should have a public IP to connect to. So if you have an VPN device, hardware VPN device or software VPN device, you will have to have the public IP assigned to it, an added IP, so that the traffic coming on from the virtual network gateway can connect to it. Okay, so I'm using this public IP. I'll configure it on the Sophos so that it can be used. So I'm going to go to the VPN under the configuration. It says no records found, and I'm going to go to the IPsec connections. I'm going to click on add. Name, let me type in, let me fill all these details. Okay, so this is the configuration, the name, IP version, activate on safe, firewall rule, site-to-site connection type, gateway type would be the respond only, and the description. These are what the general settings look like. So I'm going to go to the encryption section below, and policy would be Microsoft Azure. Authentication type would be pre-shared key. Type in key 123, any key. Not a problem if this is low. This is the demo that we are using. So now go to the gateway settings connection. Here, listening interface. This is the one. And local gateway address. Input the gateway IP address. I'm going to use this one. The public IP. All right. Local ID type would be the IP address. Remote ID type would be the IP address. Local IP. So now this is the gateway. At gateway, where it would be the input the public IP of the Azure VPN gateway. Of a VPN gateway noted earlier. Here I will type in the gateway address of the virtual network gateway that I noted here from the portal. So this is the public IP address of the Sophos. I'm going to copy it. Type in here. This is the gateway IP address. So I'm going to go to my Azure VPN gateway. This is the one. Still creating. So I'll put in the gateway address in the remote address after the VPN gateway gets provisioned. So the local subnet, here I'm going to enter as 10.0.0.0/16. Let me get this on-prem 10.0.0/16. Save. Okay, what happened? Save it. Okay, remote subnet I'm going to add as Azure. The IP address is 172. One 172.17.0.0/16 slash. I'm going to change the same on this as well. Edit. All right. So my site-to-site gateway is completed. Gateway subnet. I'm going to click on resource. And this is the public IP that I will update onto my Sophos here. So it is this. It is this. All right. I'm going to click on save. Okay. It is activating the connection on-prem to Azure. All right, now I'm going to go back to my site-to-site gateway connection. This is my site-to-site virtual network gateway. I'm going to go to connections. I'm going to click on add a connection. And on the add connection page, I'm going to name it as gateway connection. Connection type is my site-to-site on the IPsec VPN tunnel. So virtual network gateway, I have a site-to-site gateway. Local network gateway. I'm going to click on create new because I don't have one. Name would be on-prem gateway. On-prem gateway. IP address. I'm going to add the public IP address of the Sophos and on-prem firewall. So click here. This is the public IP address of my Sophos on-prem firewall. Here, address space. I'm going to select as 10.0.0.0. This is the one that I gave in the Sophos as well. I'm going to click on OK. Local network gateway is my on-prem gateway. Shared key, what I entered in the Sophos while doing the configuration. And the protocol I am going to use is to subscription resource group East US. Click on OK. It is creating a connection. All right, connection is created. Now, if you will click on it, it is all working fine. It takes around 30 seconds to 1 minute. Now, if you would go back, it says connection type. The status is unknown. It is not connected. It should select to connect it. It will take some time. And let's say if the connection still fails to connect. So I'm going to go to the Sophos portal. And then I'm going to force the connection to be established. So I'm going to go to my Sophos portal. This is my C. It is showing as red. From active, status is active from Microsoft to Azure, but from here it is not. So I'm going to click on it. Are you sure you want to connect? I'm going to click on OK. It is waiting for the configuration. It says IPsec connection has been established successfully. And if you would go to your portal and you will see the connection here. Let me refresh it. It says not connected, but if you would click on Sophos, it says the connection has been established successfully and on-prem to Azure. And if you will click on it, you will check the configuration of what we have implemented right from the entering the gateway subnet, connection type, and the pre-share authenticated key, the networks and everything else. Here it is will be also be connected. It'll take some time, but this is how you establish the connectivity from the on-prem to Azure when you are doing a site-to-site VPN. This is how you deploy a virtual network gateway. This is how you deploy a gateway subnet, which act as a gateway to route traffic from Azure to the on-prem, and how the local network gateway works. So I hope this was informative to all of you guys. Before going ahead, please delete all the resources that you created so that you don't get charged. And if you have any queries, please mention them in the comment section. Till next time, have a good day ahead. Bye-bye.